Hi everybody, my name is Jim with Woman Adventure Club, and today we're going to be doing a review on this Warmbond Smokeless Fire Pit. It's a grill, it's a smokeless fire pit, it's portable, you can take it with you. I've actually had a lot of fun using it, and instead of going into all the technical specs that you can find on the website, I'll just put a link in the description below. If you're interested, you can go over there and get all the tech specs on this guy. But why don't we just jump right into the testing so you guys can figure out if this is something that you're interested in. Let's get to it. So let's get right into this. This is my practical experience with the unit. We're going to take it out of the box here. One thing I did want to also mention is when you're done with the box, you can actually cut it out so it's this weird little wood carrying case where two people can carry with the handles. You cut out the front and you can actually store some wood in here and use it as a little transportation vessel for your wood, which I thought was kind of cool. Cool way to reuse your packaging. You can see there's my wheels right there, the caster wheels, the stirry pokey thingy, and the grates and the stuff. The ash pan, the airflow deals, all the stuff that we kind of looked at in the previous picture there, the legs, the rubber caster wheels, or just rubber legs, I guess. And there's the unit itself. So you're going to put on the little air pan on the bottom that kind of gives it a little clearance and lets the air really get in there. And we're going to be using the just regular legs because I like the look of those. And, you know, we weren't too worried about using the wheels on this rocky terrain. So we're going to try one of these little rings. I guess you're supposed to light it first. We didn't really catch on to that, but we did get it lit just by lighting it from underneath. And then that did work really well to light all the sticks, but it seems like a kind of a waste of fire starter. You might want to cut those into little pieces because it's just a lot.
I have made fire!
It's a little excessive for one fire start, but I guess if you're using big pieces of wood, that's going to work just fine. And so then we kind of got everything going here with some cut out pieces of wood, and you can see right at the beginning, like smokeless. I mean, even though the wood was just getting going and we didn't even have like a very hot bed of coals underneath that thing, I mean, smokeless right off the bat. So it does a really good job of channeling all that airflow through there. And here we just started throwing in a bunch of sticks from around the forest to see if we could kind of get it some smoke, you know, some wet stuff, some little bit of, you know, barky stuff in there and little twigs and whatever. It never did smoke. It just burned beautifully the entire time. And we had it really going pretty big. You can see like there's almost no smoke there at all. It never bothered us all night. And we just really had a raging fire in this thing. This was just kind of like a hot, intense fire test that we put it through while we all hung out. And as the night progressed, we just kept just throwing all kinds of logs and stuff into this guy to really get the heat up. And the cool thing about the topper and the grill thing is if you want to like kind of like, we threw this on that big raging fire, and so it's going to kind of smother it down a little bit. You're not getting as much airflow. And so it does kind of like tame the fire down considerably. So that's kind of cool if it seems like it's getting too tall or, you know, whatever. That's going to kind of slow it down a little bit. And still almost no smoke coming out of this guy right when we put the lid on. Still doing just fine with the grill topper on. Then we took it off and then we went for big air with big logs and stuff to really see if we could get that coating to peel or bubble, and it never did. So the next day we're going to go ahead and put this in the carrying case, which does make it a lot easier to get this guy around at 31 pounds for sure. So I'm going to put that on and we're going to carry this over to my porch for the cooking section of the testing that we're going to be doing with this guy. But it is significantly heavy at 31 pounds. I mean, it's not light, but it is very portable. So you can see the cover does have big, you know, kind of like a Velcro pouches on either side for your accessories, etc. And I did have the waterproof cover on it as well. So we're going to take that off and kind of check out the grill pack now, which is an accessory item that they sent to me. And so it does have, you know, the grill top right there. It has a heat glove. It's also going to have a little thermometer that goes into the grill. We'll check that out in a little bit. And then it does have that. That's just the basically the lid handle for the grill top. And then you're going to have all these accessories. You got some tongs there. You got a nice skewer, and you got 4 little kebab skewers as well in that pack, and a nice little Velcro case. Here are the caster wheels, which would work really well in some situations. They're heavy duty, they're big, they even have little lockers on them. Those are actually really cool accessories that I would highly recommend. I'm just not using them right now because I like the regular legs, but the wheels are super cool, and I think those are a really neat addition for some applications. Now the little grabber here is a great way to move your grill, your grate out of the way and stuff like that. Set it on a non-burn surface while you're doing whatever, adding some wood. The thermometer goes into that little hole right there. So boom, now you have a little thermometer. You can kind of check the temperature of the grill. And I do not recommend burning any fire on a newly wooded deck, you know. But we are going to monitor this 100% of the time with a garden hose nearby, so we're not too worried about it, but I wouldn't recommend that. So we're going to get this guy going and get the heat up so we can like cook some steaks on this guy here in a little bit. The sun's going down, but it was really fun hanging out on the porch with this thing. And then we're going to throw on a couple of these little thin ribeyes here. We've never cooked on this guy before. Our flames were a little bit high, frankly, but what are you going to do? You know, we just slapped them on there and let it go, throw some seasoning on them. I thought for sure these things were going to be just fried because once the meat grease started hitting the fire, you know, it started getting kind of like big on the flames. But to be honest, these turned out like a nice medium rare. My friend's really good at knowing when to pull these off. And I haven't had a wood fire steak in a while, but like the char and the flavor was just awesome. Might have been the beer talking, but I loved those steaks. They were really, really good. And I thought for sure we were going to fry them to a crisp because we had the fire so big. But you can use charcoal, you can use wood pellets, you can use firewood. Anything you want with this grill, and I've really been having a lot of fun using it. It's just really performed well, and it's one of my favorites, so I definitely enjoy it. Okay guys, well there you go. I've actually really enjoyed using it. This is definitely going to have a permanent spot at my cabin. Now, would I recommend it? Absolutely. It did really, really good at keeping the smoke down. Lots of air intake through the bottom of this thing and the screens that keep them from getting clogged by the ash and debris inside the fire chamber. So it was just a really nice roaring fire, and all the heat was going up and out. It produced plenty of heat through that ceramic coating without doing any damage to it with a really high blazing fire. There was no bubbling, cracking, peeling. So that's awesome. Stainless steel inside. So I think this thing is going to last a really long time. Looks really good, like the square design. Would I take this RVing with me? Possibly, but I don't think so. This is a little too big. It doesn't really break down. It's going to have the stainless steel container, you know, the main body of it is always there. So it's somewhat large. It's going to stay its full size for the most part. And it's decently heavy. You know, with the wheels, you can definitely pull it out and use the carry case to drag it around somewhere. But I think it's just a little too big for me personally on my RV because anywhere we go, usually there's a rock ring or a grill or something there that we can use. If I was going to a friend's house and I knew they didn't have anything to set up or a fire ring or a fire pit, yes, I would definitely bring this guy with me. Full-time camping, I think it's a little large for me personally, but it's definitely going to have its place around my off-grid cabin because this thing burns beautifully, puts out lots of heat, and it looks really, really good. I like the wheels or the legs option, so you can make it look like it's just supposed to be there and stationary, or the wheels so you can drag it around all over the place nice and easy. It's also perfect for cooking and grilling and all that stuff. So I really like the fire pit. I don't know if it's necessarily for full-time RV use, but weekend stuff, sure, take it along. It's going to work really, really well for you. If there's ever a problem with it whatsoever, I'll put a link in the description below to let you know if any problems occurred over time after I've used it for about a year. But so far, so good. I love reviewing fire pits. They're just so much fun, and this one is definitely a really cool fire pit. It's not super duper portable, but it's functional, which I like. Because if you bring out a little tiny fire pit and you put it together and it's this big and you got everybody trying to warm your hands or cook 18 hot dogs over a little tiny fire.
You're killing me, Smalls.
That's no fun. This is a decent sized fire that gets the job done. So if you're going to a grill out or a party or you're having a big camping trip or something and you want to use it for that or around your house, then I highly recommend it. I hope that helps. Maybe it helps you figure out if this is something that's right for you. If it is, link in the description below. My name is Jim with Full Moon Adventure Club, and until the next video, thank you so much for watching, you guys. Happy camping, and like, share, subscribe. That really helps me out a lot. Take care.